Hello there. I have limited time today, so what I thought we'd do is do the square of Venus, and hopefully we'll have time to do the talisman, and then later on today I will do my best to do a psalm that goes along with it if I have the time after work. All right, so how do we determine when we're working with these squares, what's the best way of determining whether or not we want a full-size square or a lower harmonic? Well, take the total amount of your the cells in the square. How do you get that? You take the number in question and multiply it by itself. So today we're working with Venus. That's number 7 on the tree of life. So 7 times 7 is 49. So once you have that full number of how many cells are going to be in that square, in this case it's going to be 49, then you subtract, or you compare that against the alphabet. Now there's 26 letters in our alphabet. So if I have fewer than 26 squares, I'll probably want to do a square that's not a lower harmonic, because if I'm using a non-harmonic version of the square, then each cell is going to be 1 inch. When I go down 1 harmonic, then each cell is going to be half an inch. The reason why I don't want half-inch squares, if possible, you can still do it. If possible, when you're dealing with squares that have fewer than 26 cells, is because when you're doing the letters, many of those cells will be sharing a letter. So you're going to have to be putting 2 letters per cell in there. And so if you use the full inch cells on those, it'll be a lot easier to draw. Now some of those, like the square of Saturn, they'll have 3 letters. So you may even want to go up a harmonic, because that's a 6-inch square. That's fine. So, but anyway, for this, 49 squares, there's only 26 letters in the alphabet. We don't need to stay at a full 7-inch square. That's kind of big. Let's go down. Well, the first harmonic, each cell is going to be half an inch. Half of 7 is 3.5, right? So let's make, what I like is to add an extra inch onto the size of paper as to what my square is going to be. So we've decided it's going to be a 3.5-inch square. So I want a 4.5-inch square of paper. I'm going to start out with a 4.5-inch square of paper, or card in this case, and we'll just cut them both out together. Oops, but make sure you measure, Ariel, 4.5, not 4. Okay, so I'm gonna be like we do 2 squares when we do these planetary squares. Can we see? Okay, good. So here, I can actually work, well, I'm just cutting this out so it doesn't matter. I don't probably need to be working in pencil because this is not that complicated. We're a little less prone to making mistakes, but who knows with me, because I'm chatting. And when you're chatting, sometimes it's not. Okay, so we've got, what did I do? Oh, I did a 5-inch. Oh, I need 4.5, not 5. What did I do? See, already I'm making boo-boos. So we've got a 4.5-inch square here, and a 4.5. Is that crooked? No, I think it's okay. Did I do it? Yep, I got it. Okay. All right. I start second guessing myself. Can you tell? Okay, so we've got 2 4.5-inch squares that we're going to cut out, and then we're going to make a 3.5-inch square within that, and that gives us a nice 1/2-inch border on each side. If you know what I'm saying. What am I doing? Just cut the darn thing off. Waking up is hard to do. Okay. That's why the gods made Starbucks. Actually, I probably don't need to be going to Starbucks. That's sort of an addiction of mine. I have nice coffee right here that I can make. But it's not Starbucks iced coffee, and I just like iced coffee. And it's sort of like my one vice that's left. I don't do a whole lot of things. Thank you for sharing, Ariel. You're so happy. So I'm using this light green, so I could use a nice pink. Now I bought a nice hot pink. I want to use a hot pink for her, I think. But then I also bought this pink. They didn't have very many good pinks in this. So let's just test and see what we like. Here's a little scrap. Here's pink, and here's hot pink. Well, this one's more shocking, but this one's prettier, I think. What do they call it? I'm curious. This one's called hot pink, the one that's not that hot. And this one is called rose neon. Well, I don't know. That's rose neon. Oh no, that's neon, but yeah, neon pink and hot pink. I think I like the hot pink the best. I'm not in a neon mood today. Just like when I bake, I like to clean as I go, so I don't get so confused. Why are these videos so long? Because of me. Because this is how I work. I mean, God, how annoying. Okay, so we're gonna mark off half an inch around this square to give ourselves a nice border. Half an inch. There we go. Nice border, half an inch, not a quarter of an inch, not an eighth of an inch, half an inch. I'm saying that for my benefit because, come on. There we go. Now the problem with these pens is you want them sharp, but if you get them too sharp, they break. So you gotta be careful. Because then when they break, they give you that little colored pencil goo everywhere, which can be hard to erase, but it's okay. All right, let's just do the board. Let's just do the grids for both of these. Let's just do some gridding, but not gritting. So Anael, Venus, yes, she is the arts. She is love. She is, what's that? Beauty, luxury, refinement. All of those things. What have I done? That's a half an inch. It really is a half an inch. For some reason it looks crooked to me, but I'm just gonna follow it. But she's also a victory on the Tree of Life. So a lot of people give Anael this misguided attribution of some sort of ditzy goddess. And that's not what Venus is all about. And it's definitely not what Anael is all about. Anael is an archangel, very powerful, and she is wonderful, or he. I mean, you know, angels can have any gender. They're very gender fluid. But she is I see what I did. It's supposed to be 4.5. There we go. I got you. Great for helping out with any kind of interpersonal relationship issues, artistic self-expression. The one art that she's probably not the one to go to is music. That's more Mikael. Not that she can't help you with that, but Mikael's is that music is his thing. So, but poetry, interior design, clothes, all that stuff, love affairs, and also self-love, self-esteem, all kinds of stuff like that. And the other thing is that's now, did I screw this up really bad? Not really bad, just kind of bad. I think what I'll do, because this wasn't measured as well as possible, is I'm going to erase these. I had a little measurement issue, but this is easy to remedy. Is using that angelic silence. And also, you know, this is when it's a great idea to also go to your Greek myths to get a sense, because the Greek gods were, I think this will be fine. The Greek gods are personality. They're part of they're part of their archetypes as part of our personalities. So the angelic expression of those archetypes is perfect, but the Greek gods have a lot of imperfections, and that's good because they can talk to the kinds of imperfections within ourselves that we are trying to heal. And then if there's like jealousy, you know, when you're jealous of another person or another person's relationship, that's definitely something that comes under the heading of Venus. But that's something that you would call an Anael to heal, because Anael is not going to be jealous, right? Because but she will be able to heal that kind of a jealousy. Hopefully that makes sense. So, you know, if you are looking, so as far as just practical, if you're looking for finding a mate, like your soulmate, perfect mate, that kind of thing, or if you're just looking to date, if you're looking just for friends, just if you're feeling lonely and you want any kind of companionship, it doesn't have to be a romantic thing, or if you have relationships that are having, you know, that might need a little upgrade, or you just want to bless them, there's no problems, you just want to bless them, bless those relationships. Anael is a great resource, and so there's a lot of good things with Anael. Now, as we go deeper into this practice, Friday, which is Anael's day, is also the sacred day of the Shekinah, which is the goddess, the Holy Spirit. And so when you're starting to work with the Shekinah, which we'll talk about later, what's going on here? Yeah, this is good. The Shekinah has a definite relationship with Anael and with Friday. So, like that. Every half inch is what I'm putting on here. Putting on the Ritz. Okay. Morning. Good morning to me. I actually measured right. How nice for me. I don't have to fudge it as much because I actually made some decent measurements on this one. Well, that's nice. Good for you, Arya. I'm so glad for that. Pink and green. So green and red. So if we were using a dark, you know, green, we might use red instead of pink as the flashing color. But this light green is nice with pink, and pink is one of her colors. But you know what? Pink is one of Samael's colors too, and people don't want to remember that, because pink is simply just red with some white added to it. So pink is a Samael color, and that is another key into his personality. It's not all just war and destruction with Samael like people want to believe. Samael's got a soft side as well. Samael just likes to give energy, and Samael and Anael, Venus and Mars, are partners, and that's why they trade their colors. Their colors flash with each other. They complement each other. You know, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. That whole book was trying to explore that archetype, which I don't know how well he understood that, but that's okay. And it's not just men and women who have that genitalia. It's the male and female archetype, Mars and Venus. Even their planetary glyphs are the symbol for man and woman. So they complement each other. So you can use pink for Samael. Yes, you can. I don't care what anybody says. Especially in his Aries, because one of the astral colors for Aries and a lot of candle magic operations is pink. One of the astral colors for Aries. Yep, that's true. And one of the birthstones for Aries is diamond. Now, tell me that Anael doesn't like diamonds, because they are typical for engagement rings, right? So they work well together. Mars is not just malefic, destructive energy. Don't buy into all that nonsense. Okie dokie, artichoke. Let's put the numbers in first. This is a big one. Just go from left to right, just so you don't make mistakes. All right, can we see that? So let's, I like to just color these panels in. So let's do that next. All right, there we go. Now, another option for these side panels, as I've said before, is you can put the god names in there, but I just don't want to do that on these first ones, because I don't want it to seem too intimidating for people who haven't really done this work too much. So the fewer the steps, the better to start with. All right, so now let's do this alphabetical square. Let me just clean up my mess here. I'm gonna keep I'm going to keep my crayon here. I don't know if I need that. Okay, this is sort of how when I bake I have to like take some time and clean up, because otherwise if it's too messy it gets confusing and you make more mistakes. And I make enough without extra help. Okay, so now what we want is to find our little chart of letters here. Okay, so this is just the alphabet, and I've given each each letter its own number from 1 to 26. Now, we have 49 We have 49 squares on here. So what I want to do is know where each letter exists on this square. So A is 1, so A is there. B is 2, so B is there. C is 3, so C is there, etc., etc. And so I'm going to put those letters on this square. Now, since there's more than 26 cells in here, several of these cells will stay blank, and that's just fine. We just leave them blank. So here we go. So here's my A is 1. So this is row 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up 1, 2. Right? So there's A. And then here's B. You can see it's right there, and then here's C. Okay? So I've just, see how that works? Here's 1, 2, and 3 on the square. So therefore, I know that means that those positions are A, B, and C on the alphabetical square. All right, so now we just keep going. So I got to find my 4 for D. Here's D. 5 is E. 6 is F. 7 is G. And then I can, G, guy. I just put 7. I can't tell you how many times I've done that in my life. I do that all the time when I'm making squares. And that's okay. That's why we have erasers. And it erases fairly well. So here's G. G is 7. H is 8. It's 1, 2, 3rd, and up 1. 1, 2, 3, and up 1. H. I. 10 is J. 11 is K. Then L. 13. 13 is N1. 13 is L. Sorry about that. No, 12 is L. 13 is M. Glad I looked. Then N is 14. 15 is O. I always just check and make sure that I'm not off, because I get off. Not in the good way. O. And then P on 16. P. Where's the P? There it is. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Here's P. 16. 17 is Q. 18 is R. When they're in a line like this, it's so much nicer. S. T. There's 20. Now U is 21. '22 is V. 23 is W. 23 is W. 24 is X. 25 is Y. 26 is Z. And there's our whole alphabet. All right, so I'm just going to color in these panels, and this square will be done and ready to use. Okay, there's our numeric square. And there's our alphabetical square, and they are ready for use. You can charge them and consecrate them if you like. I'm not going to do that because we're using them to make other talismans. So, and even though they are already sacred, and we can do that, if you want to, you just spray them with the right cologne, and you burn a candle on top of them to dedicate them. But that's not absolutely necessary. All right. Oops. All right, we will see you over in the talisman video.